buy-side fund managers, the institutions that are driving markets, are focused on two main things: momentum and relative strength. So we just went over momentum, how we like to incorporate it, how we define it. Now we want to see how we can quantify relative strength, how we can look consistently time and time again to see if a market is either outperforming or underperforming. If you're a buy-side institutional fund manager, opportunity cost is a big problem. You're taking 20% off the top, or you are being judged against your benchmark. You don't have time to be sitting in something that's underperforming. You need to be buying stocks that are outperforming. You need to be buying stocks that are showing momentum. Okay? So now let's turn our attention to relative strength. Now remember, when we're referring to relative strength, this is not the relative strength index. Okay, that's a momentum indicator. In this case, we're comparing one asset to another. So here we're looking at the S&P 500 up above, and then plotted down below is the relative strength line for the financial sector. This is the XLF relative to the SPX. So in other words, if it's going up, financials are outperforming the rest of the market, and if it's going down, financials are underperforming the rest of the market. This is what we call relative strength or relative weakness. So with the new highs that we were seeing in the S&P 500 into the fall of 2007, notice how financials were already underperforming. They had already peaked years prior. In fact, by the time the S&P 500 ultimately put in its high in the fourth quarter of 2007, financials on a relative basis were getting destroyed. That's evidence of distribution. Those institutions that were carrying financials higher for so many years into that peak were distributing those shares. Relative strength is a leading indicator for future price developments, and in this case, one of my favorite examples, because financials were underperforming well before any systemic crash took place or any sort of epic collapse in the financial system. Just by looking at relative strength, you already knew something was wrong with financials.